Hello, and Jerry. And yes, please rise. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Pleasanton. You know it. This meeting is being recorded and will be available for viewing on our YouTube channel. I want to welcome our visitors. We hope you enjoyed today's meeting and come back again. If any visitors want to learn about becoming a member, please see Ricky Walter. Ricky, raise your hand. I want to thank our greeter today, Mike Kowalski. And I want to thank Gary Ingram for taking attendance today. And Julio for being the treasurer. Yes, yes. And I also want to thank Kathy Alameda for doing everything every week. And for Ricky for all the technology work he does. And Bill for yeah. Okay, go ahead. I interrupted. And I want to thank Bill Evans for setting up the assignments every week. He does a great job too. I want to actually do something right now and ask Joyce she had a great suggestion because we have so many people in the club that we don't know everyone's name. So she's going to introduce herself real quickly, then pass the mic to the next person who will do follow her example, and we'll just do 5 people, maybe 4 people today, Joyce.
Can we sit down now, Mr. President?
No, you may be seated.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Jim. President Jim.
Gotta do the pledge first.
How about the pledge? Come on, Jim.
Yeah.
The district goes right here.
I know, you gotta look good. What's up with that?
Who's leading the pledge?
Please join me in the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we may be seated.
Now you may be seated. All right, Joyce.
Joyce, you're on.
Okay. I may be the only one in here that doesn't know everyone's name with their face, but I doubt that. And I think we should take care of this right now. So I'm gonna start, and every meeting, we're gonna do 4 or 5 people. When we get to the end, we can start over. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Joyce Shapiro. I've lived in Pleasanton since 1966. 4,200 people there at the time. And something you might not know about me, I was the first woman planning commission.
Hi, I'm Lee Carlson. I've been in Rotary for 25 years. And as Doug was saying, sometimes you just all of a sudden don't know a lot of the people in the room. One thing I tried when I was president of Rotary was to get people to move around from one table or another. And I encourage everybody to do that, to know each other. Also get involved in the projects because our lunch meetings, you have about 5 minutes to chat and the bell rings. And it's not as effective as you getting to know. So definitely so.
Hi, my name is Matt DeGredis. I'm a CPA in Pleasanton, and I've been in Rotary for 14 or 15 years. You probably listen to me a lot because I have a hard time making meetings, but I can show up on the third Thursday. You are here, but I'm going to show you I do every Thursday. Anyway, yeah. Next week.
Thank you, Matt.
President Jim and Rotary fellow Rotary. My name is Bob Shapiro. I've been with the Rotary for 23 years. I've had 100% attendance, so I try to keep that. It's just a personal goal. And something you may not know about me, during college, I tutored Prince from Saudi Arabia.
Prince.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
At this time, I'm gonna ask Gary Harrington to do weed care.
I'm gonna start it off. And, I want to, Nancy and I, before the pandemic, we went up to Jasper. That's in Alberta. It's about 2 hours above Lake Louise. You may be familiar with Lake Louise and Banff. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. And just love hiking there up the rivers and lakes and everything else. Well, I was talking to my cousin in Washington over the weekend. And she said, did you hear about the fires that were up in Jasper? I said, no, it started on July the 25th. It lasted almost a month. About 93,000 acres. The town, 1/3 of the buildings were destroyed. So, and it's a small town. It's 1,100 and some odd buildings. 353 buildings were destroyed. But this was about this report was about 3 weeks after. There, and they said there may be a lot more damage to the other buildings from fire and smoke, from water and smoke, so they weren't sure about it. But what I found out is that the Rotary Club, Nancy contacted the Rotary Club. The Rotary Club had about 50% of its members Rotarians, all Rotarians again. 50% of it lost a home or a business or both. And so we asked, how we could help. And they gave a report. It's on your table, a sheet. And the district is easy to remember. It's only 200 points above ours. It's 5370. District 5370 is having a Jasper Fire Relief Fund. And I thought that this is a good opportunity for our fellow Rotarians to help fellow Rotarians in other places like we did helping a member of our own chapter. So look at this, think about it, and like I say, it's just so sad to hear that anywhere has it. But we can help other Rotarians. And thank you. And now I'll go around. Does anybody at our table? Anybody have wanted to share? We share. Going once.
Sorry, I never let a DG have a microphone, but really quickly, some of you probably.
At this time, I'd like to ask Steve Harrington to come forward and do the inspiration.
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't mind being called a Harrington, that's just fine. Anyway, before I give the inspiration, I just want to make sure you all have seen this beautiful new poster that we just produced for the run. There's a whole box up here, and we really need to do a great job of getting these out to the businesses on Main Street. So I hope you grab some before you go, or your business, or just pass it on, because this one has our actual sponsors on it. The other one was more of a save the date, excuse me. So there you go. So anyway. Yeah, let's do it. Got my pages and notes here. Well, hello, everybody, and hello, District Governor. It's nice to have you here today, Jill. So I've done a few of these inspirations, and we hear them mostly every week. And a lot of people tend to read comments from folks that are very historical in nature and that did some amazing things through their life. But I started thinking about, what do I want to talk about? And then I decided that, I wanted to focus on folks that are part of my everyday life. And many of you know I retired a couple of years ago from the Chamber of Commerce, and Rotary has become a much bigger part of my life since then. And it just has, Kathy keeps twisting my arm, so it's her fault. And then also being that our District Governor Joe Durig's here today, I came to the conclusion that many of the people that inspire me are right here in this club. So, I wanted to, let you know that I wish I could name all of you, but we don't have enough time for that. So there's a few that I really wanted to focus on, and I wish, a couple of them, I think most of them are here, except for one. But the first gentleman I want to start off with is, Mark Tanis. You know, Mark, is a really dedicated Rotarian and recently experienced a tragic personal event. And Mark, you know, he's running the storm. He's always positive. He's willing to help. He has brought in several new members, and he has also agreed to be our president-elect all through this really traumatic situation he's been going through. So he inspires me when I think about him. So I wanted to recognize Mark. The other gentleman I wanted to talk about is Mr. Bill Burke. You heard me, good. So Bill, if you don't know this, is 93 years old. So, or young, thank you. Yeah, I had young, but I just said old. And, you know, I talked to Bill because he just inspires me. He walks every day from what I understand. And probably the highlight is he goes on cruises as a single. So, you know, he meets a lot of people on these cruises. So he has a wonderful time. And then from his Rotarian perspective, he's been a member for 56 years.
Wow.
He joined in 1968. He's been a member of several different clubs. So I'm just hoping I can do what he's doing now when I'm 73 and I'm 93. So, Bill, good on you. And then we just were speaking about Gary and Nancy Harrington. This couple has just done so much, not only for our community with the local arts and sponsoring many of the nonprofits. They have led many of our committees, and they are the founders of our Ross Committee, which has done so many good things throughout the world. And you two really inspire me, so I just wanted to recognize you today. And Bill Evans, you're here, back from Hawaii, past president and our current foundation president. He's just a consummate gentleman. He's always, you know, in a positive mood, looks clean, shaven, you know, his hair's, you know, and everything. But he's the guy that never really says no when he's ever asked to do something for Rotary. So I just think you set the hot bar really high for us Rotarians. So I just want to thank you, and you inspire me. So Bill Evans. I only have 20 more, so just hold it. And I'm glad Dick Stafford showed up today, and I see most of the wheelchair committees here. Did he? Oh, he's still here. Okay, I thought he left. And I just want to congratulate that committee, and I know Dick's been the leader now for a couple of years since Nancy Pinnell passed. And I just think I tell people what we do, that we raise $28,000 for a container, and we deliver them to over 200 people, and then that's also matched with the Wheelchair Foundation. And they look at me like, you do that as your club? And we go there and we help distribute them. So I just think Dick and your team, and I'm looking forward to going my first distribution in Lima, Peru at the first week of November. So thank you for all that you do. You inspire me. And then there's Kathy Alameda. She is just amazing, as we all know. She has a heart of gold and gives 190% to our club. Just are amazing. She serves as our treasurer of the club. She's my co-chair, really the chair of the Halloween Chair Run, and a mentor to so many in our club. Kathy has also a problem with not saying no. And she will just do whatever is needed, and I just think you're amazing. So I wanted to, you inspire me. So thank you for all you do. And last but certainly not least is our president, Jim Hansen. Jim, you know, he decided over a year ago to be our president-elect, and now he's our president, right? And little did he know that he would be having open heart surgery when his presidency began. So, but Jim didn't say, well, I can't do it, Steve, or I can't do a club. He stood up with what he said. He didn't back down. And he's received a little help from his fellow Rotarians all along the way. But he's completely recovered. And are you swimming yet? No, no, not yet, okay. And doing an amazing job as our president. So Jim, you inspire me. So there you have it. As mentioned, you all do so much for our club. I'm going to mention your names, but we just don't have enough time for that today. And I just want to thank you for all that we do as a club to make our community a better place. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Have a great day.
Thank you, past President Steve, and I think you inspire us too. And Ricky,
Yes, sir.
I want to add you to the list. Well, you do too. May I do that, Steve?
Yeah, of course, yes. That was the whole point of me saying that. So I get some.
All right, I have a couple people that want to say something. Bob, you want to say something about the progressive dinner? You want to come up here, or do you want me to bring you the mic?
Last Saturday, we had the progressive dinner, and I just want to thank all of you who attended. Feedback was superb on the dinner, and I want to thank everyone who worked on the event. And doing this for Mike and myself, Mike didn't stay there. But one thing I wanted to ask you, Bob Rossi, who owns the Sunshine Saloon, he's last 2 years he's given $1,500 for a run. In addition to that, for the last 3 years, he's funded the progressive dinner. So the best thing we can do is fund his facility, the Sunshine Saloon, and thank his wife also participated in that great dessert that we had. So thank you very much. I appreciate all your support.
Good job, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
This dish and toothpicks and progressive dinner, I have them here. And if you don't remember what you brought, ask your spouse. They're missing.
Okay, thank you, Tom. At this time, we'd like to introduce any visiting Rotarians that we have here. Roger, I know you want to go first.
Oh, thanks. Well, everyone, I've never got to have a visiting with to introduce visiting Rotarian before, so I'll try my best. But
Ready?
from the Dublin,
I'm coaching him, I'm coaching him.
Mr. President, fellow Rotarians, and guests,
My honor.
it's my honor to introduce from the Rotary Club of Dublin, met Rita Berry, who is a business owner, and she is the assistant governor
For this area.
for this area.
Very good.
One down, two to go.
Need a classification.
Business owner.
Business owner.
Classification name.
Right.
Okay, also, from the Livermore, Mr. President, fellow Rotarians and guests, from the Livermore Club, Rotary Club of Livermore Valley, I've been corrected, thank you. In the category of
Print and promotions.
Prints and Promotions, Sherry Scamoni.
Hi, Sherry.
Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Somebody else, please do.
And Mr. President, fellow Rotarians and guests,
Yes.
from the Dublin Club, in the category of elected. Bob.
Let's hear it for Frank.
Good job, Roger.
Sorry, Roger. That's my dad's name. How can I not remember my dad's name? Good job.
Thank you, Roger. Nice job.
Hey, Jim. Oh, we got another introduction.
Steve?
Yeah.
Well, it is my great honor and pleasure to introduce Carrie Alexander, who is relatively new to the community, but she has been a mover and shaker wherever she has been. And is a prospective Rotarian of this club, so be on your best behavior.
It's about it.
Too late.
Yeah.
Thank you. Don't thank you. Any other visiting Rotarians? Okay, visiting guests. And Jill, I'll introduce you. So, I think Bill Evans has it. Oh, the Zoomers, yes. Do we have any Zoomers?
We do, one second, I was.
we can't hear them.
Oh, Dennis.
Dennis here.
Hello, Dennis and Julie.
Hello.
Oh, I didn't see Andrew.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Welcome.
Okay.
Hello, fellow Rotarians. My camera doesn't work today.
The camera's not working.
Yeah, and the sound's not working either right
Yeah,
now.
not very well.
Oh, well, I'm
All right.
unmuted, so I don't know what's going on.
Audrey, your sound's working fine.
Okay,
Have a song, right?
thanks, Ricky.
If we could do something else, the Bluetooth got disconnected, I'm trying to reconnect it right now.
Okay,
Give me-
Bill Evans has an announcement.
Bill, you gonna sing? Oh, no. Well. A couple drinks.
President Jim and fellow Rotarians and guests, my wife and I have been on a little travel. So we went to the island of Kauai, which I've been to Hawaii many, many times, but I've never been to that island. And I like Maui better. Okay, how's that? So traditionally, like the members of our club will bring the president a gift, and sometimes they're like, oh, I got you a bag of pretzels from the airplane. Enjoy them, and that's the end. But my wife made me do better, so we went to the Kona Coffee Company. And we drank coffees, which I didn't bring back for you, but I brought some shortbread cookies for you. And then we went on a tour of the Koloa Rum Company, which was really cool. And they have rum tastings there. And I brought you a little tiny bottle of chocolate flavored rum. I hear it's pretty good. And then some chocolate covered macadamia nuts. Those are like a staple of Hawaii. And hand you the mic now. Here you go.
Thank you. Bill, do you know what they say about Hawaii?
No.
It's for the newlywed and the nearly dead. All righty, so any connection yet, Ricky?
I'm gonna give it a shot, but I don't know that it works. Let's see.
I'm gonna tell you something.
No,
Oh,
it doesn't work.
oh, no, okay.
So, yeah, just go to the, what we
All right.
have, and I'll get it.
We have-
Working on it.
Okay, thank you. We have some upcoming events. I just want to remind you about our third Thursday will be on October 17th on the patio at Andy and Hughes. October 31st is a fifth Thursday, and we'll have a meeting. We'll have our club assembly on that day at lunchtime. And I'm still open for any ideas on how to celebrate our 60th anniversary this year. And I think our new members are going to be the chairs. Not kidding.
Yeah. He's kidding.
And at this time, are we doing okay, Ricky, or?
I think we need to do the program, and then I'll hopefully have these at the end. I'm getting there as fast as I can.
I'm gonna ask Sherry, from the club, Livermore, Valley Club, Rotary Club of Livermore Valley to come up and make an announcement.
Thank you so much. I'm just really happy to be here. I'm happy to support Jill, who's in my club, so happy to have a woman district governor and someone from the Tri-Valley, so that's awesome. I wanted to let you know, you didn't know already, but in 2 days, Saturday, is our 4th annual chili cook-off. It's downtown Livermore at the Carnegie Park. We have 10 chefs. Audio from Pleasanton is the only Pleasanton, but we have 9 other chefs from the Livermore area. And 2 live bands and lots of merchants and a kids area. The Quest Science Center will have something going. It's free to attend. The tasting is 5 chili tastes for $20. Beer and wine is sold $10 a glass. And all of it is gonna go towards our grant projects. We've had, it's gonna be a little warm again this year, but we've had between 500 and 600 people come out every year. So it really is a big event. It is our biggest fundraiser. So if you want to come out and support, we would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. We're ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
I'm single, and I wear my Rotary pin all the time. When I'm out, and I wear my Rotary pin all the time. And so when I'm out, you know, when I'm out, and women ask me, single women ask me, what's that pin for? My elevator speech is different for them. And yours would be too. So, so if it's a Rotarian or a prospective Rotarian asking me about the pin, I'll say to them, they'll say, what's the pin for? And I say, well, that's a Rotary pin. And what do you think 99% of the people say right after that? You've been there a million times. They say, what is Rotary? And to that I say, Rotary is the best decision I've ever made. And what do you think they say to that? Now this is a key moment, you guys, because I am no longer selling them Rotary. They're interested in Rotary, you understand? And if you're in sales, you know it's much better if the other person's asking for the product or the salesperson by name than the salesperson thrusting the product down the other person's throat, right? So when he says, what's Rotary? Rotary's the best decision I ever made. Why is that, right? And I say, well, because it's bigger than anything I've ever done in my life. It's allowed me to be a complete human being. And I really enjoy it. And and by the way, if you're married, you probably can't say it's the best decision you've ever made. I'm not going to do any better than that, man. Well, I have good news, everyone. There has never been a better time to be a district governor. That's
Okay, sorry about that. Anyway,
Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky. That was a good choice. I think
this is why I wear my Rotary pin everywhere.
All right, we're gonna set up for Jill and I get the opportunity to introduce her in 1 second. Gonna rearrange the room a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
How? We move some chairs forward.
Yeah.
Wait more. This is for your panel discussion. Oh, that's right. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce our district governor, Jill Durig. Jill has been a Rotarian since 2003. And she belongs to the Rotary Club of Livermore.
We'll get it. We'll get it.
Jill is a retired general manager of Zone 7 Water Agency. And previous to that, to Zone 7, she served as the general manager and chief engineer for the Scotch Valley Water Company District. Her passion for potable water has led her to be heavily involved in Rotary's Wash Action Group and to be involved in Hand Wash Steering Committee, for whom she chairs its project and technical work group. Jill is married to her college sweetheart. Which college? You went to so many colleges.
Lehigh University.
Lehigh University. Tom Tom, and she has 3 children and 6 grandchildren. As a mom, she, in addition to everything else she was doing, she was served as a scout leader for the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, a soccer mom, and a Sunday school teacher. And that's only a few of the things that she did as a mom. She's a former member of the Association of California Water Agencies. And here's her education. She has a Bachelor of Science in Biology and Chemistry from Lehigh, where she met her sweetheart. She's had a Master in Science in Civil Engineering from the University of Pittsburgh. She has her jurisprudence degree from Santa Clara University of Law. And she's a member of the California Bar, a registered professional engineer in California, and a certified water treatment plant operator. So, and that's a lot, so. So with this, I'd like to introduce Jill.
I haven't come up yet.
Okay.
I have a few commercial announcements before we get to our panel. So let me start. Thank you for the wonderful welcome. You know, sometimes on paper you sound better than you are. I feel like this is kind of true about me. I'm just a grandma who likes to bake cookies, right? So anyway, my commercial announcements, a little bit about the calendar. I'm sure Jim has shared some of this with you, but 2 weeks from Saturday is our big first district event, the Avenues of Service. And I really hope to see a lot of you there. This is a really exciting one for me because it's relatively low key. That means both in terms of price and in terms of time commitment. It's 8:30 to 1:30 or something, includes a breakfast speaker and lunch speaker. Lunch will also have a little bit of magic to it. An opportunity to get live scan, your fingerprinting done, breakout sessions that are about all the avenues of service, whether it's international service or how to do TRF or youth service requirements or anything else. So there'll be a lot of fun things going on and you get to pick and choose. You don't have to go listen to this or go listen to that because there are going to be 4 choices at each of the 2 breakout sessions. And you can choose, do what you want, walk around into the project fair tables, see what other clubs are doing. Maybe you decide to partner with them. And registration is open on the district website. You can click, pay you $50 and come join us. It'll be great.
Where is it?
It's in Milpitas at the India Community Center. So that's October 19th, Saturday. We're trying to do more things in person on weekends to avoid all the crazy bear traffic.
Yeah.
And during the week, we're trying to do more things that are Zooming, like evenings, trying to get around the bay is just pull your hair out crazy. So I'm finding that out as I go to visit clubs at odd hours, like evenings at the other end of the district. So this is my commitment to you guys. I'm trying to save your time and have our in-person opportunities on the weekends. Next, big district social is going to be on December 15th. We're going to have a holiday concert at the East Bay Philharmonic. I think that's the name. They keep changing their names, but it used to be the Fremont Symphony, and they've now evolved, and it's going to be held in Hayward. More details coming on that. We just got the firm date day before yesterday, so I don't have all the details yet. January 24th through the 26th. That is a Northern California Peace Conference. The same 8 districts that do PETS together have decided they are going to sponsor a peace conference. You sometimes see from Rotary International, there's going to be a peace conference in Turkey, or there's going to be one, you know, in Asia, and there's never been one in Northern California that's easy to get to. So this one's going to be in Rohnert Park. Again, registration's now open. I think Jim has the links for this too, but you can find it on our district website. We're trying to put more things on the district website and avoid sending everybody these email blasts. So we're begging you, if you don't want your inbox gets filled for your emails, just visit our website every couple of weeks so you know what's going on. And then we don't have to keep filling your in basket or whatever it's called. You know what I mean?
We got you, Jill.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. March 9th will be another sort of social. We call it Women in Rotary. A little bit of background on this. In 1920, Rotary was still in its infancy. It was only about 15 years old. And Rotary decided it wanted to be open to more international members and international clubs, but they needed to change the constitution and the bylaws so that there was no racial implications. because they couldn't invite people from Asia, they couldn't invite people from Africa. So they changed the Rotary Constitution in 1920 to remove all that language. It wasn't until 1987 that the last door was broken down and the US Supreme Court said to Rotary, you can't keep women out anymore. It's over.
It is over.
Yeah.
That's right, we've taken over, so it works for us.
I was in the last club.
Yeah, and it was a bit of an upset. There were men who left Rotary who said, this is my men's club, I don't like it. It was quite the upset, but as I say, it was sort of the last barrier. And so we celebrate that Rotary is now very welcoming and inclusive by having a Women in Rotary event, and that's going to be the day after International Women's Day, March 9th, in Fremont, at the new Fremont Downtown Event Center. And it's basically a cocktail hour to celebrate that women have taken over. No, not really.
We needed those women, no doubt, no doubt. We appreciate it.
Thank you, but we do allow men to come to the cocktail hour with us. On that end.
I think you allow it.
Only single men though.
So that's March 9th. You probably hear periodically from your Rotary Foundation chair about donations, or you hear about Paul Harris, or you hear about, double sustainers. You hear all these awards that people get for being very generous. Well, we have some people in this district who are crazy generous, just nutsos generous. And I'm sorry, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Becky. And so as a special thank you this year, anybody who gives $10,000 this year, or a bequest of $10,000. I'm doing a personal thank you dinner, and that's going to be at my house. I'll try and clean it up. I'll get out of my jeans. I promise I won't cook, so you won't get poisoned. We'll get it catered or something. And so anybody, it'll be by invitation only to all these people who've been extra super crazy generous, and $10,000, or maybe you put $10,000 in your will because you don't think your kids need it as much as the people around the world, and the Rotary Foundation helps. So whatever, or maybe your company, it matches you, or maybe you have an IRA where you have to pull out a certain amount a year and you don't need it for living expenses right now. Whatever it is, $10,000 of either an actual donation or a pledge by a bequest, and you get the invitation to check out my bad housekeeping. That'll be May 4th. And I don't live too far away. I live right off of 680, so it'll be a straight shot for you guys. May 31st, we're going to do a one-day district conference this year. Last year's conference was fantastic. There's no doubt about it. Anybody who went, it was at Hayes Mansion, which is a very posh place. It was 3 days. There were lots of inspirational speakers. It's also kind of on the pricey side, both in terms of time, because 3 days, and cost, because after all, it was very posh. So this year we're trying to go the other way and open the doors to more people and say, hey, we did avenues of service. We're trying to keep the costs down there. We're going to do the one-day district conference and keep the cost both in terms of time and actual dollar amount down by holding it at San Jose State University. So it's not going to be as expensive this year, we hope. Oh, costs are going crazy everywhere, so we haven't got the final dollar amount yet. So there you have. Oh, one more thing. International Convention. That's going to be the end of June, June 22nd through the 25th, not too far from Jasper. It's in Calgary. It's on our continent. We can get together a bunch of RVs and do a caravan, whatever, it's kind of exciting for a change, not like Singapore or Melbourne or something. So that's going to be June 22nd through 25th. They are promising that most of the snow will be gone by then. That's the last one. And now I can get to what I really want to talk about. So people ask, so what's happening with the district this year? Well, what's happening with the district every year is we try and support the clubs. Rotary is very much a bottom-up organization. We're not supposed to be telling clubs what to do. We're not supposed to be demanding what you do.
we're supposed to be saying, what do you want to do and how can we help you accomplish it? That's why there's often an emphasis on developing your own plans. And if the plans say something like, oh, we want to grow membership, we say, okay, we'll hold a membership seminar and give you some ideas of how to grow that membership. Or the Rotary Foundation, okay, we'll give you some ideas of how to do fundraisers, maybe meet with other clubs. So we're here to help you. Some people say, Jill, no, we hear that every year from the district governors. What do you want to do? And I rolled my eyes and I said, really? I have to come up with something specific for my year? So here's what I have been asking people, two things. The first one is because it's and I apologize to those who've heard this several times already, because, you know, Namrata and Bob and Sherry have been at some of my other talks. But it is a presidential election year. Sometimes we forget our four-way test on years like that, where we say, wait, is it beneficial to all concerned? Will it really build goodwill and better friendships? What if we go toe to toe with somebody who is on the opposite side of, I don't care what, a mayoral candidate or a presidential candidate, or even one of our many California propositions? But let's remember that in Rotary, first of all, we're non-political, so you're not supposed to go down that road. But second of all, and even more important, we have the four-way test. We are all here to give back to the community. Let's remember that first and foremost and try to be kind, even when maybe politics are trying to drive a wedge. So be kind. That's request one, consistent with Rotary stuff. Number two, also hopefully consistent with Rotary stuff. This one's a little bit more complicated to explain, but I'll try. We all have a passion. We all love to do things to give back to our communities, maybe to give back to the global community, maybe to find people in Jasper who need a helping hand, or Haiti that need water, or whatever your personal passion is. But passion means that you're just putting effort into it. It usually requires one of the three T's. Time, you know, whether it's volunteer hours, whether it's for fundraising volunteer hours, or whether it's actually doing things like checking out well specifications and making sure that it's going to be a good, safe well for people. So time is one. Talent is another. You know, if you have a special skill, maybe you can apply that in a district or a global grant, or even a community where we have a lot of educators in our clubs, and they switched us from giving out dictionaries. They said, wait, stop, that's not what kids are loving anymore. Let's give them a book opportunity. We can still maintain literacy. So their talent was to know better what the schools and the children needed. Talent is number two T, time and talent. The third T is treasure. Things often cost money, believe it or not. And this is true of any magic in the world. You know, we love to watch movies like Harry Potter, but waving a magic wand just doesn't do it in our normal Rotary lives. But we certainly are perceived as magic. And we have a professional magician in our club. Larry and I were talking about my friend Roy Porpita earlier. And when he does things, first of all, he has talent up the wazoo. If I tried to do any tricks that he does, I would just really blow it because I'm klutz. I can't handle anything. But he's got that kind of talent. He can make things happen. He takes the time to practice. So there's the second T that he's putting in. Sometimes he has to put in the third T too. Maybe buy a prop, or if he's pulling a rabbit out of the hat, actually buy the Betty some food so he's still alive. You know, but so the three T's apply in any kind of magic, any kind of project. Let's hear some more about how we turn passion into projects. Now I'm going to ask President Jim if he can help me out by identifying some panelists.
Okay, past President Steve, past President Bill, and past President Ricky, and a chair for you, Jill.
Yeah, super. You might be able to get up in it. You know, we little midget. Okay. So I'm going to ask all three of you the same question, but I'm hoping for three different answers so the club can see how personal passion can be different from person to person, but it's all common to Rotary. I don't care who starts. I'm going to let you guys decide that. So the first question. Describe a project or a program in Rotary that got you excited because it was so great. Whether it, made your heart go pitter patter. Who wants to go first?
I'm happy to go first. Back when I was president, and this happened literally a week before COVID hit,
Yes, I remember.
our club did a wheelchair distribution to Costa Rica. That was my first trip doing wheelchair distribution. And I'd always heard Bill Wheeler, Dick and others, and Nancy at the time talk about how life-changing it was for the person receiving the wheelchair and also for their family, because it gave their family freedom when they always had to be around to support and get the disabled person wherever they were going to go. And it was just so gratifying, motivating, fulfilling to give those chairs out, to see the faces, to see how the impact was being felt by those people in their local community. And some of the ones that even brought chairs that are literally falling apart or taped together with duct tape. And that was a week-long trip, and we were all over Costa Rica. It was a beautiful trip. There's time extra for us to enjoy the beauty of the land and do some extra outside of the distribution. So it was just a wonderful, awesome experience, and I'll never forget it. It was amazing, and I can't wait to do it again.
There are so many things that our club does to help so many different people. And, in some cases, like in Ricky's example, he got to personally see what was going on. And in other times, or most of the time, I would say, we're doing things where we don't get to see, the people that we're benefiting, but nevertheless, we are benefiting those peoples. Like, for example, when Lahaina burned down, and we reached out to the Rotary district there, and we found out that dozens of members of their local Rotary clubs lost their homes and businesses. And we did some fundraising here, and one of our members stepped up and put a $5,000 match. And we sent a bunch of money off to help these folks. And to me, that was the whole reason why I'm at Rotary. I'm here to do good and have fun, and doing good means helping those other peoples. And we do that in so many other ways. What Gary and Nancy have done with WASH is just incredible. It's very inspiring to me. And I'm very proud that our club is doing that with your leadership.
So I'm going to talk about I've been a member of 3 different Rotary clubs. I spent about 15 years with the Santa Clara, club down in Silicon Valley, about 3 years with Pleasant Hill Rotary Club, and then now I've been here for about 7 years. So, and I have not gone on a wheelchair distribution yet, and I'm sure that'll be my #1 experience. But what I thought of was when I was in Santa Clara, we used to do Christmas for Kids. And you may have heard of it, Jill, where every Christmas we would have the school district pick children that were at the spectrum where they were, didn't have the money, their family was barely making it, they couldn't afford to buy tennis shoes and coats and shirts and all sorts of things. And they would come to a dealership, Lexus, down there, and we would serve them a full lunch, and Santa Claus would be there. One of our Rotarians would do it every year. It's amazing. And we give them these huge garbage bags of clothes and important things like that. And when that first one I went to, I just thought, okay, I'm hooked, I'm in. So that's where it started for me. And we've done many things here at this club, but that's the one that comes to the top of mind that really got me hooked to Rotary and how important and special organization it is.
Thank you. 3 great answers, 3 great projects and programs, and a variety too. The next question is going to be, sometimes magic is in the eyes of the beholder. if you're giving a magic show, just like when Roy's giving one of his, you see it in the sparkle of the kids' eyes who are watching him, or the Rotarian's eyes when he does it for our club or whatever. It's really special to see that sparkle. I'm gonna ask you each this question, but I'm gonna give you a few minutes to think by answering it myself. First, you don't get off the hook. Describe the time when you saw that magic sparkle in a recipient's eyes. So for me, I wasn't much of a Rotarian for many years because I was working too hard at Zone 7. I blame them. And then the Livermore Valley, and it's definitely the Livermore Valley Club because we're the breakfast club, was having a Christmas party also at the VA hospital for elderly veterans who were basically hospitalized. And not much of a party. I mean, we just brought a few cookies, sang a few songs, wore some ugly sweaters. It was sort of my breakthrough project, my very first, and maybe that's why it reminds me so much of what the change it made for me. Because I'm standing next to this woman, I'm singing, whatever, Santa Claus is coming to town or something, pretty nonsensical. And she grabs my hand about one half the way through the song. And at the end of the song, I looked down at her and she's just crying. And I said, "Are you okay?" Thinking, did I really sing that badly? I tears. What did I do wrong here now? And she grasps my hand now in both her hands and she says, "No, you just don't know how much it means to us to have you guys come. Because for many of us, you are the only visitors we get all here." And I realized those tears gave that sparkle of magic in her eyes. But on my end, I was like the Grinch. I felt my heart grow 3 sizes. It was a very special moment on both sides. And that was magic for me and what turned me into a real Rotarian.
How can I follow that story?
Wait a minute. And we know each other really well and suffered through a lot together.
Actually, I had 2 different things that I thought of. Are any of you gonna talk about Mark Tanis? Were you going to? Okay, I'll hit that one. So, Mark Tanis, over the time we've been in Rotary, has become a very good friend of mine, and you all, if you don't know, he shared this is not private information, but he shared that his wife has gone through a lot of medical challenges in the last year, and she had both of her hands amputated. And so, part of her feet as well. So, I've just really seen him go through it, and the Harringtons, when they started the project called The Helping Hand, that blew me away. I would have never come up with that, and I'm so grateful to you guys for initiating that. And because I'm close to Mark and Christine, and I've, taken food to them and stuff during this time, Mark is a self-described stoic, which means he doesn't show a lot of emotion, in case you didn't know that. But I've seen him almost cry. I mean, it's about as close to crying as I've ever seen him because of what we've done as a club and as a district. It's not just our club, as you know, Joe, it's gone around, and I'm just so blown away by the generosity of our club and other clubs to give, and how it's had such an impact in one of our own lives and his family. And I'm just really, I saw the magic happen there for sure. So I'll leave it at that.
I'm not currently on the scholarship committee, but I served for a few years on that committee, and one of the things that we did on the scholarship committee back then, probably still doing that today, is that we interviewed the candidates or the applicants. And we did this in meetings over at the chamber offices where there'd be 2 or 3 adults there, and then the student would come in. And some of those students would come in and they'd be very well dressed and groomed and polite and on time. And you'd be talking to them, and they'd be the very first person in their family that's ever going to attend college. And they were respectful of us and our time and our willingness to give them something. And you could see in their faces, in some of their faces, I should say, that they were genuinely like in awe of what was going on around him. Like, here's somebody that I don't even know that's gonna give us money. And that was pretty cool. I really like that. I think being on scholarship committee, that was my favorite role. Doing that.
No, I think we're looking for more committee members. On the scholarship committee.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay.
A lot of hats right now.
Yeah, I know. So, you know, I tried to think about whether I've had such a wonderful, experience like you too, you just mentioned, and you, Joe. But, for me, and I'm gonna stay on the, Halloween spirit on track, because to me, it's magic that this club puts together a race for 32 years, and raises a net of over $50,000, which is used to give money to the things which I've been talking about. And it's magic to me to just see everybody come together. You know, a lot of members have been here a long time and they grumble about it and but people show up and they get it done. And then you see the faces of the kids that are dressed up in their Halloween outfits and the parents that are there having a good time. And we're raising money for people that really need it. So to me, that's pretty magical. And being I really consider myself the co-chair. Kathy's really the chair, but you know, we work together really well and she's amazing. So I can't wait till it's over. But it's been a great experience.
That's not a secret.
Yeah. So and I think we're gonna have another magic moment on the 13th. So thank you.
Okay. I see Jim checking his watch and telling me to wind it up. So that was your last question. And I'm gonna thank my panelists. You know how Rotary thanks people. It's with pins. So.
Well, we heard how important it is to wear them.
Yes.
Yes, so these pins show a little owl peeking out from behind their chair, behind the curtains to show that this is the wisdom of your clubs. And I'm sure that it's shared by a lot of people in the room. Go make some Rotary magic, find some passion in your own lives. Thank you. Back to you, President.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Jill and Pal. You're welcome. Those are great questions and thank you for being here and for your presentation. And now we have an opportunity going. You're gonna pick. Kathy, opportunity going and Jill will be our, we'll pick the ticket.
I'm gonna do it right now. Don't trip.
Today we have $93. And would you pick?
Two tickets.
We're taking one.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Do you want me to read it or do you want to read it?
No, mention, yeah, the last
Three digits.
three digits.
Last three digits. 710.
Surprise.
That's how Bill's funded his retirement.
Somebody's saying I ran.
Come on,
out.
Bill, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's right. 29.
I tried different.
Take it home.
Just take one, Bill. Yeah.
He's not swearing.
Oh, this is nice.
No? Yeah. Okay, one more, yeah.
Okay, and the next one? 715. Yay!
Go.
Go get it, Joe.
Good luck. Thank you. Look at that.
Oh, okay. Next one.
Next one, everyone.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Bill. And before we adjourn, don't forget to grab some posters. There are gonna be posters with our sponsors and disseminate them in businesses that you are familiar with or your own business. And they're up here, so please, we want the box to be empty by the end of the meeting. So this meeting